Buy a swimsuit for $120 from a brand everyone knows. The name is everywhere. Ads, department stores, airport boutiques. You wear it 3 times. By August, the elastic has relaxed, the color is muted, and the lining is pilling against your skin. You assume you did something wrong. You didn't. The suit was built that way. Let me be clear about something before we begin. Some of the brands on this list are not on here because they are scams. They are on here because what they charge and what they build are 2 different conversations, and most buyers never realize that until the suit is already falling apart. We looked at 10 swimwear brands. 6 are charging you a premium for construction that does not earn it. 4 are delivering what those names used to mean, or should mean at this price. Before we get into the list, you need to understand one thing. Everything else depends on it. The key concept. What actually separates a good swimsuit from a bad one? Every swimsuit is built from the same basic equation, a structural fiber plus an elastic fiber. The structural fiber, nylon or polyester, gives the suit its body and shape. The elastic fiber, spandex, also called elastane or lycra, gives it stretch and recovery. That elastic fiber has one natural enemy, chlorine. Chlorine attacks spandex at the molecular level. It oxidizes the fiber bonds and snaps them over time. The result, a suit that was snug on day 1 starts sagging by week 4. Colors fade, seams stretch. The suit stops fitting your body and starts just hanging off it. Studies show that a standard swim fabric can lose over 60% of its tensile strength after roughly 300 hours in chlorinated water, if the fabric was not engineered to resist it. And here is what matters. Cheap brands know this. They build suits designed to be replaced every single season. Low-grade spandex blends, unstable dyes, minimal lining. You come back next summer, they win. The brands actually worth your money either use recycled nylon, materials like Econol R or Repreve R, engineered for durability, or they use high-quality polyester blends with superior chlorine resistance. They use color-fast dyes. They line and construct their suits intentionally. Here is your test before you buy anything. Check the fabric content label. Then ask yourself whether the brand is willing to tell you where it was made, what is in it, and why it is priced the way it is. If they won't tell you, that is your answer. The 6 brands robbing you blind. Number 6. Shein. A bikini for $8 to $15. Sounds like a score until you understand what that price actually reflects. Shein is the most extreme version of fast fashion swimwear on the market. The fabric quality swings wildly piece to piece. What reviewers consistently describe as a hit-or-miss situation. You genuinely cannot predict what you are getting until it shows up. The construction is bare bones. The elastic is bottom of the barrel. The core issue is what happens after 1 or 2 pool sessions. Chlorine has nothing to fight against in a low-grade spandex blend. The suit loses its shape fast. The colors follow shortly after. At $8, this suit was never designed to survive the summer. It was designed to survive the photo. Shein suits exist for content, not for the water. If that is genuinely your goal, fine. But if you plan to actually swim in it more than twice, you are buying it twice. The problem is not the $8 price. The problem is what gets positioned alongside it, which brings us to the next brand. Number 5. Triangl. Triangl built its entire brand on Instagram. Neoprene bikinis, bold colors, influencer campaigns. At its peak, it was the most photographed swimwear brand on social media. Now look at what actual buyers say. Reviewers on Trustpilot and SiteJabber consistently describe fabric that fades quickly, stitching that comes loose after minimal use, and suits that stretch out significantly after a single season. One reviewer noted her dark green suit faded dramatically by the end of summer, despite pre-soaking it to protect the color. Another described a suit that stretched out 2 full sizes in less than 1 season of regular use. A recurring verdict across hundreds of reviews. The quality does not justify the price. Triangl suits retail at over $100. At that price, you should be getting construction that holds up for more than 1 season. There is another structural problem. The neoprene fabric that made them visually distinctive is notoriously non-breathable. Hot, thick, and unforgiving, the brand built its identity entirely around aesthetics, and the product quality never caught up to the marketing. And if something goes wrong, reviewers consistently flag a rigid return window and a customer service experience that can be difficult to navigate, particularly for international orders. Triangl is a social media brand that forgot to build a good swimsuit. Number 4. Victoria's Secret. Victoria's Secret dropped swimwear entirely in 2016, what was then a $525 million business, to refocus on lingerie and athleisure. They brought it back in 2019. That decision tells you exactly where swimwear sits in their priorities. When a brand walks away from an entire product category and then comes back 3 years later, they are not returning because they had a construction breakthrough. They are returning because the market was profitable and they wanted back in on it. Victoria's Secret's own CFO described the re-entry as an admission the company had made a mistake. The current VS Swim line starts at $49 for separates. The marketing is polished. The brand recognition is enormous. But that name recognition was built on lingerie, not on swimwear engineering, not on fabric research, not on fit data. What you are paying for at $49 to $80 per piece is the logo, the shopping bag, and the decades of marketing, not superior construction, not materials chosen for water performance. At that same price point, brands on the right side of this list are making different decisions. Victoria's Secret sells swimwear the way they sell everything, on image, and image is not a fabric. Number 3. Cupshe. This one needs nuance, because Cupshe is not a scam. It is not bad quality relative to its price. The real problem is understanding exactly what you are buying and whether the brand is being honest with you about it. Cupshe suits retail for $30 to $60. The fabric is synthetic. The construction is standard. Reviewers consistently land on the same description, better than expected for the price, but you can feel that these are not premium swimsuits. Their stronger suits hold shape and color longer than you might expect at the price point. Their weaker pieces, especially cover-ups and dresses, feel cheaply made and do not hold up. Here is the honest framework. Cupshe is solid value at its actual price. If you want a fun suit for a vacation you are going to photograph once, Cupshe delivers that. But it is a fast fashion swimwear brand. The construction is not built for season after season of use. Buyers who have placed multiple orders over the years report uneven quality. Some suits hold up, some don't. The real issue is when Cupshe gets positioned as a premium option or a quality alternative. It is not. It is affordable swimwear that performs like affordable swimwear. Expecting years of chlorine exposure from a $40 suit is the wrong expectation for the product. Buy Cupshe knowing exactly what it is. Just know what it is. Number 2. Triangl Premium and Amazon generic brands. Let's talk about the no-name Amazon swimwear market, because it operates on a model that is specifically designed to exploit how you shop. Open Amazon and search one-piece swimsuit. Thousands of results. Prices from $18 to $45. Names you have never heard of and will not find again next year. Here is the structural problem. There is no accountability. The brand that sold you a suit that fell apart in June has a brand new storefront by July. No reviews carry over. No quality standard to maintain. The suit in the listing photo was professionally lit and styled. The suit in the box is a different conversation. The consistent complaints are always the same. Flimsy straps, loose stitching, fading after minimal use, and elastic that gives out fast. The listing photos are the product. The actual suit is secondary. This is not about Amazon as a platform. Legitimate brands like Summersalt and others sell on Amazon. This is about the ecosystem of manufacturers producing a product designed to survive the photo, not the pool. When straps are flimsy, threads are loose, and the elastic sags after a few wears, you have not found a deal. You have found fast fashion with free shipping. Number 1. Banana Republic. Gap Swimwear. Here is how you identify a brand that does not take swimwear seriously. Check whether it is a core product or a seasonal edition. Banana Republic and Gap are clothing brands. Swimwear is a seasonal SKU they add every spring to capture summer traffic. The suits retail for $60 to $120, real money for a swimsuit. At that price, the construction should match. It does not. These suits roll off the same fast fashion production infrastructure as their regular apparel. The linings are minimal, the elastic is standard, the fabric is not engineered for water, chlorine, or UV exposure. You are buying a piece of clothing that happens to be a swimsuit, not a swimsuit designed to perform in water. At $80 to $120, you are within range of brands on the right side of this list. Brands using recycled nylon, real fit data, and construction built specifically for how a swimsuit is actually used. The gap between what Banana Republic and Gap charge and what they build is the widest on this list. You are paying a heritage retail premium for a brand that treats swimwear as an afterthought. The four that are actually worth it. Number 4. Andie Swim. Andie was founded in 2017 by Melanie Travis, who has described the brand's origin as a direct response to how poorly the swimwear industry was serving women, both in terms of fit and in terms of sizing options. The result is a brand built around function and fit first, aesthetic second. The fabric on most Andie suits is an 80% nylon, 20% spandex blend. Soft, stretchy, and durable. Testers from Reviewed.com noted that the fabric did not pill or rip after contact with the rough stone surface of a hot tub. A real-world durability test that most budget swimwear fails almost immediately. One long-term reviewer at Treeline Review wore the same Andie bikini top for 3 years through pools, lakes, oceans, rivers, and a polar plunge in Wyoming, and described it as extremely durable throughout. The construction includes adjustable straps, removable padding, and supportive underband design on most styles. Andie also offers long torso sizing, which is still genuinely rare in this industry, and makes a significant difference for women who have spent years fighting suits that simply were not designed for their proportions. Pricing runs from around $115 to $165 for one pieces. One honest note, Trustpilot shows a meaningful number of negative reviews, most relating to fabric degradation or inconsistent quality across specific styles. Andie's customer service response window and return policy have also drawn criticism from buyers who experienced issues. Read the size notes carefully before ordering, and check reviews specific to the style you are considering. But when the construction holds, the suit performs at a level that most brands at this price point do not. Number 3. Jade Swim. Jade Swim was founded in 2017 by Brittany Kozersky, a former fashion editor at Marie Claire, who identified a gap in the market for high-quality, minimal swimwear that could function both in the water and as ready-to-wear. The supply chain here matters. Jade Swim designs in New York and produces in Los Angeles, domestically made. The fabric is recycled, Eco-Tex certified, 78% recycled nylon, 22% spandex, with Econol regenerated nylon that uses material recovered from discarded fishing nets and ocean waste. The brand focuses exclusively on solid colors because printing patterns require significantly more water in production. That is a concrete sustainability choice, not just language on a web page. The fabric is consistently described by fashion editors and long-term buyers as luxe feeling, sculpting, and smoothing. The kind of quality you notice the moment you put it on. CNN highlighted Jade for their Eras-like color range and fabric quality. The brand produces small batches available through pre-order, which means zero overstock and zero waste. Pricing runs from $80 to $240 depending on the style. Size range runs XS to XL, which is a genuine limitation compared to some brands on this list. But at the right price point, Jade Swim delivers construction and materials that compete with brands charging 2 to 3 times more. Number 2. Summersalt. Summersalt built their brand on a single verifiable claim, data-backed fit. They took over 1.5 million body measurements from 10,000 women before designing their suits. That is not a marketing line. That is a fundamentally different design process from anything hanging in a department store. The fabric is 78% recycled polyamide, that is nylon, and 22% elastane, certified by the Global Recycled Standard. The polyamide is made from post-consumer materials, including old fishing nets pulled from the ocean. Summersalt's own wear testing shows the fabric retains its shape and compression after 100+ hours of use in chlorinated water. Do a quick material test. Scrunch a Summersalt suit and compare it to a $35 suit from any brand on the left side of this list. The Summersalt fabric feels dense, crunchy, and resilient. The budget suit feels limp. That difference in hand feel is the difference in construction. Suits start around $100 for their one-pieces. For the fabric quality, the fit data, the recycled materials, and the UPF 50+ protection, that is not an expensive swimsuit. That is a fair price for something built to last. Multiple reviewers report suits holding shape and color through multiple full seasons of regular use. One editor from AFAR wore the same side stroke to Necker Island, Iceland's Blue Lagoon, and the hot springs in Mexico, threw it in a cold wash cycle multiple times, and described it as still looking brand new. The forum consensus is consistent. Summersalt is the benchmark for mid-range swimwear that actually performs. Number 1. Solid and striped. If Summersalt is the data-driven fit brand and Jade Swim is the sustainability-led minimalist brand, Solid and Striped is the one that answered a different question entirely. What does a swimwear brand look like when it is designed and operated by people who exclusively make swimwear? Founded in 2012 in New York by Marissa and Isaac Moran, Solid and Striped produces nothing but swimwear and swim-adjacent ready-to-wear. That specialization is the asset. Every decision, fabric sourcing, construction method, silhouette, color development, is made through the lens of a brand that does one thing and has spent over a decade doing it. The fabric across their core swim line is an 80% recycled nylon, 20% spandex blend, with high-quality color-fast dyes and consistent construction. The suits are designed to retain shape, resist chlorine, and look intentional, not trendy. Their silhouettes are rooted in classic swim, not seasonal fast fashion. A suit from Solid and Striped from 3 years ago does not look dated today. That is a design philosophy, not an accident. Their retail pricing runs from around $135 to $185 for one-pieces and sets. Now apply the framework from the top of this video. At that price, you are getting recycled nylon construction from a brand whose only job is swimwear. Compare that to Banana Republic at $100, whose job is everything, and who treats swimwear as a SKU to fill a seasonal gap. Same price shelf, opposite product philosophies. Only one of them puts the money into the suit. 10 brands. One question. Are you paying for the suit or are you paying for the story? 6 brands on this list are selling you the story. The heritage name, the department store logo, the Instagram aesthetic. The construction underneath does not earn the price tag. 4 brands answered differently. They used recycled nylon. They engineered for chlorine resistance. They built from real fit data. And they priced honestly for what they built. Closing. Next time you go to buy a swimsuit, do not reach for the brand you recognize first. Check the fabric content. Look for recycled nylon or high-quality polyester spandex blends. Ask whether the brand will tell you what is in the suit, where it is made, and how it holds up over time. The brands that are worth your money are not hiding those answers. The brands that are not worth it, you already know what they look like.